Hello and welcome to the Creator's Garden. I am called Harpy, and today we will be doing some more amazing digital circus fan art. Today also happens to be the day when the final episode, episode 9, will be airing. Airing on YouTube anyways. It's been out in theaters for a while. But yeah, this is the day that officially it's gonna come out. But this stream would have happened a couple hours before its premiere on YouTube, so we are still going to be spoiler free for those who haven't seen it on YouTube just yet. But yeah, with that being said, we'll go ahead and move on to the main camera. So today is a little bit self-indulgent. We're doing some original character Canon type pictures. And I thought I'd try to do a more proper illustration this time around. Try and figure out lightings and how things are colored and all that. And this one's also got a little bit more of a comic vibe to it as well. I've already basically got the inking all done here. There are a couple of spaces that I want to finish, erasing the sketch work off of. But other than that, I believe this page right here is ready for color. Overall, I think I can say that I'm satisfied with how the series went. It can be a little daunting trying to get into something new, investing time and emotional energy into a new thing. Especially if, you've gotten into shows where they only do one season and then it's canceled. And then you're just like, hey, where's the rest of the story? So I'm glad that they managed to get everything they wanted to do out of their story. And I hope the same can be said about my webcomic when it's finally done with. Which, for those of you who don't know, I do have a webcomic that I'm working on called the Snapdragon Club series, which is an anthology tale. I should say an anthology series where each tale is technically its own story, but it can be put in a chronological order. So usually each tale would focus on a couple of different characters as their main focus. And that's who you learn the most about in that particular tale. For instance, the Hunter's Tale is one where you learn about the hunter named Crystal and how she deals with a particular monster problem. Alright. First of all, need to remember to have some backing here because I do have a sketch back here that I want to protect. Just for extra protection, putting that there. So basically what I'm trying to do is make sure that the alcohol ink doesn't not only seep through but also doesn't spread on the page, because if it was just purely on the plastic sheet, then it would be at risk of spreading past where I put it down. Mr. Pimman. Welcome, welcome. Glad you can make it. I hope you've been doing well. Cute already. Thank you. And yeah, so for those who don't know, usually I wear black gloves during these just because, you know, I've been busy in the garden or tending to the borbs. But now, I've got my Harpy talons out. I know I'm in my borb form right now, but usually I look more like this. Ta-da! Hope you've been okay too. Just been busy, unsure if burnt out or readjusting. I know that feel. To be honest, I was feeling very exhausted this morning. And it took me a hot minute to get everything set up for this stream today. But luckily, I did manage to get some sketches, you know, prepared. So that at the very least, we have some nice art to work on while we are waiting for episode 9 to drop. Because it's dropping today. So those who couldn't see it in theaters will finally be able to see it on YouTube. But yeah, I'm glad you could make it though. We can just chill here. You saw in theaters, can't believe Orbs nearly had Kinger beheaded. I'm glad you made it. Yeah. But yeah. Other than digital circus news, and there's not a whole lot to report on the Creators Garden front. The gaming scene has been very casual. I reopened up Kingdom 2 Crowns just to see if there's like any of those challenge moves that I could possibly accomplish. But I'm still not quite sure how some of them you're supposed to be able to complete, but that is a skill issue on my part. Vaguely heard of Kingdom 2 Crowns, but know nothing about it. Is it one of those RPGs where you can make deeply unethical solutions to different challenges? No. It's a very simplistic type of game where you basically have your ruler. You can ride back and forth on whatever mount you happen to be on. And basically the goal is to grow your kingdom and to keep back the greed or greedlings that attack your kingdom nightly. So it's basically a resource management type of game. Honestly, the TADC fake spoiler meme tells me we should make blatantly false spoilers for things in general. You know, that would be great. That way you don't know if you got spoiled or not. But at the same time, I don't know. RTS kind of? Is that resource time management? Or resource time? I don't know what RTS stands for. Forgive me. I am an ancient board princess. Not up to date on my gaming lingo. Real-time strategy. Yeah. I think that'd be a fairly close to it, yeah. And the thing is that it doesn't really teach you controls a whole lot, other than like going back and forth to move and, you know, inputting in coins to grow your kingdom. Everything else is you gotta learn on your own, which is where I am right now. Like the base game I can do, but the challenge modes are well, they're challenging. Yeah. But also, outside of that, I have been dabbling back in origami again. So, I've been attempting making little things here and there. Just following tutorials and all that. I find that, you know, those sorts of activities are refreshing when I feel like I want to be creative, but I'm also, you know, a little burnt out and don't really feel like drawing anything in particular. But yeah, can you believe they actually put my OC buttercream into episode 9? It's crazy. Did they at least pay you for buttercream's use? Well, you remember when they did that whole thing on the Wacky Watch site, and you input a character, and you have to like agree to the use of that. So yeah. Yes, a red floor. A perfect color for a children's hospital. If you know, you know. And if you do, I'm sorry. Can't believe I got all the base coloring done this fast. There's only a couple of details that I have neglected to color in. One thing I can say that's spoiler risky, but hope is safe. Imagine if someone else entered the circus during. That'd be a heck of a time and likely an abstraction speedrun. Yeah, I could definitely see that. If anyone, entered the circus after episode 8, yeah, that. It's like you thought the Pomni's introduction was bad. If you entered after episode 8, it's like, well then, you're even more messed up than you thought. very vibrant, but I think it fits. I think this is almost done. Just need, I think, shading on the carpet, and then I can call this one good. Oh wait, I need also shading here. That's also would be nice. Did Buttercream choose her own name, or did someone give it to her? Uh, Buttercream chose her own name. She just kind of like looked at herself and was like, "Well, I seem to be some sort of cookie dessert person. Sure, why not?" And I guess, well, while I'm on the subject of buttercream lore, for those who don't already know, basically, um, so I said buttercream essentially in an AU where she appears after, well, after episode 5. Yeah. And so basically what happens is that once she's in the circus, she's super angry and trying to essentially punch her way through everything to try and get out. Of course, that doesn't work. And because of her violent tendencies, Kane is just like, okay, I don't want you breaking my stuff, so in the cage you go. So she gets put in a cage for a little while she cools down. Okay. Can't quite think of anything else to add, so I think that's this picture done, actually. The cage is Kane's misunderstanding of what a rage room is. I mean, I would think so. And I also just think the imagery is funny that Buttercream just kind of gets caged up like a wild animal. So she's like a little chocolate cookie gorilla in there. Originally, I was going to name her Ginger, and she's going to be a gingerbread cookie, but I don't know. I put her name to a poll, and she became Buttercream. So, yeah. But yeah, I think the coloring came out pretty decently on this one. So, I think I am safe to move on to the next one, which is the only other sketch that I have prepared. So I think it is definitely officially summer. Because goodness, it is it warm. Let's see. I think I might be a little lazy with the line art this time around. Just use this one. And I just remembered the problem with this pen, which is if I put down too much ink, it's going to be fairly slow to dry. Yes, I know. there's only a couple of sketch lines that I'll only be able to safely erase. Everything else I better avoid, just so I don't smudge it. Actually, I wonder, will the kneaded eraser work for this, or will this also smudge? I missed a spot. Okay, I think it's still kinda smudging. Which is very interesting. I think I got just about as much of the sketch as I could get rid of, possibly. Well, the Borbs seem to think it's doing alright. About as good as I can get it. Trying to figure out how I want to go about the lighting, so I'm gonna try and go for like the brightest version of these colors as I can, and then try to see if I can't like make the lighting a bit more dynamic. that pink be bright enough? It might be. Another little bit of lore about Buttercream is that even though she doesn't really like detest sweets or anything, she gets tired of the theming very quickly. And her favorite color is blue. Okay, where's that mushroom white? Yay. I think for Jax, what color did I use? I think it was the fuchsia. I actually have not thought about what I wanted to color the background yet. I know I wanted like dark colors and like slowly gradienting into lighter, because I think that'll give it the effect that I want, but I'm not completely sure. So I think what I'm gonna do now is I'll take a quick break, get some stretches in, get some water, get some snacks, and yeah. The fishing mini game will still remain up, and you can also summon some Borbs. They like the enrichment. But yeah, those will be up for you, and I will see you in a bit. Alrighty, I'm back. And hopefully the music levels have been alright this entire time. I haven't been asking. Bigger areas first. Overfilled this marker. Okay, that works out. Oh. Yeah, they have. I forget. What are you? What was that in response to? I'm sorry. Also, hello, Kamada-kun. Thank you for lurking. least during the break, I did mostly decide on some colors. I completely forgot to decide a color for the blanket, though. I'm alright. I just jot the marker, as I am wont to do. Forgot what it was in reference to be honest. That's fair. Don't worry about it. I too wish I could nap on this couch. To get the effect I want, I have to go for some really harsh shadows. And harsh shadows are a little scary. Because if you color in a place, you can't really take it back as easily. basically, once again, I'm putting down the base color. And then I'm gonna have to try and make some big decisions on where I want to put some shadows. this has turned out to be a very decent shadow color, so I'm just going in everything. Might have messed that up a little bit. Hello, Mr. Game Guy. Welcome, welcome. Glad you can make it. Hope you've been doing well. So just to recap, we've been doing just some amazing digital circus fan art. Mostly just Jax and OC. And we did this one earlier, which I like how the coloring came out on this one, I think. I went back and forth a little bit on the colors, but I think overall this turned out pretty well. And then this one, I vaguely tried to give the hint that they were like in front of a TV falling asleep, but may not be completely perfect, but I think there's something here. Something's off about the background though, and I'm not quite sure how to fix that. I might just color in the rest of it, like just shadow the rest of it. Shading and reflecting looks really good. Still learning. I mean, so am I. If you think this is anywhere close to being, you know, where it should be, but that's just part of the process. I'm not here to like put myself down or anything. Like I said, there are aspects of things that I like so far. It's just that I'm also very aware that I could be doing a little bit better if I actually tried to study. Okay. Am I finally using up all the ink in this? That'd be great, actually. Because this is basically my leftover marker. And it would be really great if I could get rid of this. I think that looks a little bit better for what I was going for. Just a little bit. You know what? I could probably add more harsher shadows in some more places. I think this is okay. Shading and lighting is good. I can't shape or anything. Look, man, I've seen your work. You do really good on shading. That goes for all of you artists in the chat. Or any artist watching the VOD, too. I bet your work is great. And I hope you continue following your passions. But I think this piece is just about done. Or about as close to done as I can get it. Aw, thanks. You're welcome. Also, shout out to your comic Dungeon Smalls. It's a really awesome and cute comic. You guys should check it out. I think the problem with the comic is that I might try differently when it's not the pilot arc. Only 2 tones, light and dark, so shading is very binary. Yeah, definitely keeping things as simple as you can is really great, especially, you know, if it's like a big project, because it's like that's something you're gonna be stuck with for probably a long time, so best to make it as simple as possible. And then you can worry about it being like all fancy and whatnot. Or just save the fancy bits for when it's like really good, you know? Nice to see the Wabbit calm down. Yeah. I've seen so much great fan art of Jax and like all the Amazing Digital Circus cast, to be honest. Just seeing all the fan works is super amazing. I've seen like the animatics, the comics, and all sorts of other like standalone like illustrations as well. Like if you guys have ever seen like when the cast of Amazing Digital Circus played D&D, like those designs were really good too. Well, those were the 2 illustrations that I had planned. So I'm thinking I can do like maybe 1 more bonus artwork and then we'll call it. Now the question is, what sort shall it be? I think I'm going to go ahead and start a poll and see if we can get something. Okay, the poll is up, and I see we already have a vote. I think I'll just let the poll go for a couple minutes, and then I will stop it. I know there's not too many people in chat, but, you know, just in case someone was lurking and wasn't paying attention, I'd like to, like, just give a little bit of a chance. Alright. I'm ending the poll. It seems to be unanimous. Your protective paper is looking like graffiti wall. Kind of like it. Yeah. So this is just a piece of like cheap watercolor paper that I've had. Originally I was going to put an artwork on this, and then it just became an artwork that I never really finished, but I didn't want to like completely abandon it, so I just kind of just used it as scrap paper. Which has been really great because as I mentioned earlier in the stream, this helps for this type of paper where it's exceedingly thin. And the thing with like very thin paper like this is that alcohol marker, if I only had the plastic sheet behind it, then what ends up happening is that the ink will not only like bleed, but if I like jostle the paper or the like plastic sheet behind it, then the ink will also like spread in like whatever direction I happen to be pulling if it's not fully set. So yeah, this keeps this protective paper keeps it from basically like spreading on the plastic sheet, because what also happens is that if I'm using like a dirty plastic sheet like this, then any like remaining alcohol ink that's on this can get reactivated, and that also ends up like tarnishing the page as well. So yeah. And the reason I still have the plastic sheet like behind this watercolor paper is because, well, frankly, I don't trust the watercolor paper to catch everything and not have it leak onto the next page, so you know, always stay protected. Thin paper is my worst enemy. Yeah. That's why usually I go for like mixed media paper or watercolor paper when I'm working with the alcohol markers. But sometimes that is not always feasible. So having, ways to protect your work area is always nice. But yeah, so the vote was for both Buttercream and Jax to be the subject of this bonus piece. What I'm thinking is I could do something like really out there, which is like, what if they were characters in Sanctus? Like, if I translated them into the Snapdragon Club series, which is, again, my original webcomic, what would they be like? Because the thing about the world of Sanctus is that there are a lot of variations of different species that could be there. One of them, of course, being anthropomorphic animals. So there could be rabbit folk there. I think the one that's going to give me a little bit of trouble might be Buttercream, unless I decide to make Buttercream a Fae. Because the thing about the Fae in the Snapdragon Club series is that they can come in a lot of variations. In fact, I will go ahead and give some examples here via my stickers. So we have Dolly, who is very much like stereotypical Fae. She's got little fairy wings in the back. She's small, she's cute. She is the toy Fae. She just can summon, children's toys out of her hat. But then you have the Nightmare Fae, Shade, who is a lot more, person-sized, and very rarely has his wings out. In fact, there are a number of Fae that don't always have their wings out. But they do have wings. And Ruby Merchant is also a Fae. Forest Guardian is also a Fae. And Farmhand is also a Fae. And Dreamwalker is also a Fae. So as you can see, the large variety of designs that can go into the Fae category is probably a good place to put Buttercream. Now, the interesting thing about making Jax a rabbit folk is that I have not actually designed rabbit folk in Sanctus quite yet. I've designed like dog folk, cat folk. There's also been the snake folk, the naga. There's also bee folk. So there's a large amount of the anthro folk. But I have not actually created rabbit folk for the world before. But just like all the anthrofolk in Sanctus, they would probably be coming from the same continent as Fae. this is going to be very interesting. Because I don't think I've drawn rabbit characters very recently, like in my own style. This is bugging me a little bit. Sketching out poses for now. I think with Buttercream, her thing will be like, she is the sweet spay, but she doesn't like being the sweet spay. This is so weird to draw. What if Buttercream at first text came because she thought he was going to bite the cookie? Yeah. She probably did at some point try to deck Kane. Stale cookies, hard candies, ice frozen treats that are very hard. Yeah. Yeah. That's what Faye Buttercream would be like. And it also oddly fits that she would still be named Buttercream because, you know, in Digital Circus you got like your circus given names. That's not like your human name. So it would still have the idea that, oh yeah, Buttercream isn't like her true name because Fae don't give their true names. Goodness, though. It just gave me the idea that Buttercream is probably around the same size as Dolly. So Dolly would just be going up to her like, "Ah, you make sweets, ah, isn't that great?" And Buttercream was just like, "Please. Please, just leave me alone. I don't want to be the sweets fae. Why can't I, like, be the fae of, like, boxing rings or something?" She had a different fae name, but the others said it was too crude. Well, now you got me curious. definitely giving her like stereotypical fairy godmother looking thing. Oh, Buttercream would hate this. Probably one of her nicknames is the Sugar Plum Fairy. Alright, we finally got a sketch. With the fairy version of her make gingerbread men and be a cannibal. You know what? She would. She absolutely would. Just to spite everybody. Everyone would be horrified and she'd be like, I don't care. I never asked for this job. having way too much fun with this prompt. we got the line art done. I actually really like how the posing came out on this one. Just feels like it's got so much character, you know? I will say, drawing Jax like this does feel a little weird. I almost feel like it doesn't, this doesn't feel like an alcohol marker type of drawing. This feels more like it could be a crayon or color pencil type of drawing. And hello, Ferox, welcome. Glad you can make it. Hope you've been doing well. Yeah, Liner, yippee! What would Jax be like in Sanctus? Probably roughly about the same. Unless I make him a main character, in which case, that would be very interesting if I did. But as a side character, he'd basically be his same old snarky self, I think. Still having his own insecurities or what have you. But oh god, what did I do? I messed up a little bit. That's what I did. There we go. That's a little better. Maybe a little. Yeah. But in this particular scenario, yeah, I think he would very much try to take advantage of, like, the magical side of Sanctus and be like, hey, aren't the Fae supposed to, like, make us happy? Like, that's what they like doing, right? So, hey, Fae, do a whole bunch of favors for me. Because that'll make me happy. And poor Buttercream is like, like, yes, that's technically true, but also I really don't want to do this. You're well back from the big 30th celebration? Oh, was today your birthday? If it is, happy birthday. But yeah, I think I'm not sure if the crayons will do it justice. I might do both. I might do both color pencil and crayons. It just feels like that type of drawing. Oh, 14th was the big day. Okay, well, happy belated birthday. And I hope you had a good time, whatever you ended up doing. trying to decide how I want to color in Jax's eyes, because I feel like I could draw them or like color them in how they're usually colored. But, Went down to LA and got some photos shot on film. Was much fun. Oh, I'm glad you had fun. And I hope the pictures turned out great, but knowing your skills, they probably did. I love how different he looks. Right, there's something... I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this. Many thanks. Shot an expired film, so we'll see if these turn out well. That's fair. We can only hope. Let's see. Oh my god, that's a whale. That is indeed a huge sperm whale. Yes. Good job, Stream Elements, I guess. Like, took up the entire corner of the screen. Do ghosts exist in Sanctus? Are there reports of haunted items? You know, I keep going back and forth on whether or not ghosts exist. Technically, yes, spirits exist. Are there spirits that still wander Sanctus, per se? Hard to say. I think that's still up in the air. Still only rumors. Not yet confirmed. I don't know, I tend to get in a spookier mood in summer for some reason. It's because Halloween is just around the corner. That's just as simple as that. Halloween's getting closer. Forget all the other holidays. It's Halloween time. It's spooky month. it looks like with the yellow, and then... Yeah. I think I'll keep it like this. Although, you know, technically, if the anime adventure could happen in one of the episodes, then I don't see why a Sanctus adventure couldn't potentially happen. Alright. And I think this piece is done. The anime adventure has one of my favorite jokes. King are confused about the English lesson he's teaching. Yeah. Okay, I'm really annoyed by this, like, translation feature that YouTube has going on, because apparently it's trying to instantly translate your message into English. It just turned Sanctus into Holy, so it's like, YouTube, please. Please do not try to auto-translate. You're not doing a good job. But yeah, Sanctus Adventure would be something to see. It would be very interesting. But yeah, here is our final art for the stream. Let me just try and make sure that the thing about using the color pencils is that it might not show as well on camera. But at least the line art came out really well. And I do like how Sanctus Jax turned out. It is very, very strange to draw him like this. But I'm satisfied with it. So yeah, those are our 3 art pieces for the stream. And with that being said, the translation feature, yeah. YouTube, please. Okay, get this where sanctity or sanctum came from, but yeah. Looks nice, thank you. Yep, that is the final art of the stream. So with that being said, I'd like to thank everyone who joined me, whether you in chat or watching the VOD. And if you do like my art and are interested in my stories, I hope you consider taking a look at the Snapdragon Club series. It is available both on Tumblr as well as in comic dub form on the channel. And if you're not sure where to start, I'd say The Hunter's Tale is a good place to start. It's simple, it comes in 3 parts, really easy to find on the channel page. It's already like in a playlist form, so you don't have to go searching for all the videos for it. And if you are new, I hope you'll consider leaving a like, comment, or subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And if you have already, thank you very much. And if you're feeling super duper generous, we do have the Ko-fi link right up there, where you can buy me a boba, you can become a visitor of Sanctus and get a borb attributed to you. They show up at the beginning of every stream. And we also have the Ko-fi shop where, as I mentioned before, we do have stickers, including the face stickers that I showed earlier, as well as my borb form and my Harpy form. And even aside from that, there are some free borb emotes as well available in the shop, if you just want to check it out. But yeah, with that being said, thank you all for joining me, and I hope to see you guys next week. And who knows, maybe then we'll finally talk about episode 9. But yeah, until then, have a good weekend, everybody. Bye!